Listen carefully, because what I'm about to say might change the way you look at every single coin in your pocket. Right now, somewhere in your loose change, there could be a dirty old wheat penny that looks completely ordinary. But that tiny coin could actually be a hidden treasure worth serious money. I'm talking about Silent Fortune's quiet wealth, life-changing opportunity hiding in plain sight. And the crazy part? People are accidentally spending these coins every single day without realizing collectors are secretly fighting to get them. Do not spend these coins. I mean it. Check your pocket now, check your coin jar, check that old drawer in your house, because some of these rare US coins are worth big money and nobody talks about them. In this video, we're revealing the top 3 most valuable ultra-rare wheat pennies that look normal but could change everything. Each coin gets rarer, more shocking, and more valuable than the last. And the final coin? Collectors say it's one of the most dangerous coins to ignore in circulation today. This is not fiction. These old coins are a treasure. Rare coins equal big money, and some tiny detail makes these coins explode in value. So stay with me until the end, because you might be holding a fortune and don't even know it. Now, let's talk about the first coin. And trust me, this is where things start getting serious. Coin number 1. Before you assume it's just another old penny, stop. Because the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark might be one of the most misunderstood coins in American pocket change history. And in rare cases, one tiny detail on this coin can separate a 1-cent piece from a 5-figure or even 6-figure payday. Most Americans have seen a 1944 wheat penny. It's common. It's brown. It doesn't look special. And that's exactly why so many valuable examples slip through hands unnoticed. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while hundreds of millions were produced, not all 1944 pennies are created equal. Some are ordinary, others are highly collectible, and a rare few are legendary. To understand why the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny no mint mark is valuable, you first have to understand the history behind it. In 1943, during World War II, the United States Mint produced steel cents coated in zinc to conserve copper for the war effort. Those 1943 steel pennies are famous today. But in 1944, the Mint returned to using copper alloy, primarily recycled shell casings from the war. That means the 1944 wheat penny represents a powerful moment in American history when wartime metal literally became money in the pockets of citizens. The standard 1944 Lincoln wheat penny no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. And because Philadelphia did not use a mint mark at that time, the absence of a mint mark simply means it was made there. The total mintage exceeded 1 billion coins. On the surface, that sounds extremely common, and in lower circulated grades, many examples are worth only a few cents to a few dollars. But condition changes everything. In coin collecting, condition is king. A 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark in heavily worn condition may only be worth a small premium over face value. However, uncirculated examples, coins that were never used in daily commerce, can command significantly higher prices. Collectors search for coins with original red luster, minimal contact marks, sharp wheat lines on the reverse, and strong detail in Abraham Lincoln's hair and coat. The color designation is especially important for the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. Collectors classify these coins as brown, or red. A full, red example, meaning it retains most of its original mint color, is dramatically more desirable than a dark brown circulated piece. The difference in value between brown and red can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade. But here is where things get truly interesting. Not all 1944 no mint mark pennies were struck on the correct metal. A tiny number were accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. These rare transitional error coins are among the most famous and valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered. Instead of being copper-colored, these rare pieces are silver gray and magnetic, just like a 1943 steel cent. If someone finds a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark that sticks to a magnet, that is an immediate red flag in a good way. It could indicate one of the rarest error coins in U.S. history, because in 1944, pennies were supposed to be copper alloy. A steel example from that year represents a major mint error, and collectors aggressively compete for them. There are also other valuable varieties to watch for in the 1944 wheat penny no mint mark series. Double die errors, repunched mint marks on branch mints, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets can all increase value. While the no mint mark Philadelphia issue will not have a mint mark to examine, double die characteristics on the date or lettering can still appear and bring strong premiums. Another factor that drives value is eye appeal. Even among uncirculated coins, a sharply struck 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with blazing red color and minimal spots will outperform a dull example. Collectors in the United States pay premiums for coins that look exceptional even within the same technical grade. Demand also plays a major role. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 to 1958, remains one of the most widely collected coin series in American numismatics. Because of that popularity, key dates, and high grade, examples consistently attract strong bidding activity. Even common date coins like the 1944 no mint mark can become highly valuable when preserved in superb condition. Many people inherit jars of old wheat pennies and assume they are all common. But searching through those coins carefully can uncover high-grade examples that were stored away decades ago. A 1944 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark that sat untouched in a roll since the 1940s could still display strong red luster today. That is where hidden value lives. It's also important to mention weight and composition. A normal 1944 copper, alloy, penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams. If you find one significantly lighter and magnetic, that is when deeper investigation becomes critical. Transitional errors are rare, but they do exist, and they have been authenticated and sold through major auctions. Collectors should also pay attention to strike quality. Look closely at the wheat stalks on the reverse. Strong, sharp lines indicate a better strike. Weak or flat details can lower desirability. On the obverse, examine Lincoln's cheekbone, jawline, and hair detail. The sharper the details, the more attractive the coin becomes to serious buyers. The market for rare coins worth money continues to grow as more Americans discover that valuable coins can still be found in circulation, estate collections, and old bankrolls. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny no mint mark remains one of the most searched coins online because people want to know, is my 1944 penny valuable? The honest answer is this. Most are modestly priced, but specific examples can be extremely valuable. High-grade, red, uncirculated coins regularly sell for impressive amounts. Rare error versions can reach into 5 or 6 figures, and demand from collectors keeps strong examples competitive at auction. One of the most extraordinary examples of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, struck in steel instead of copper, reached an astonishing $165,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable pennies of its era, and proving that even a coin dated 1944 can become a life-changing discovery under the right circumstances. So, before you dismiss a 1944 wheat penny with no mint mark as just another common coin, take a closer look. Check the color. Check the weight. Test it with a magnet. Examine the details. Because while millions were made, only a tiny fraction hold premium quality or rare error status, and those are the coins that serious collectors fight to own. Coin number 2, what if the next life-changing coin in America isn't gold, isn't silver, and isn't rare at first glance, but a simple brown 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with a tiny D under the date? Most people would spend it without a second thought. But serious collectors know that the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny D mint mark hides layers of value, history, and in extraordinary cases, 6-figure potential. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint during the final year of World War II. That small D below the date represents a specific mint facility, and mint location matters tremendously in coin collecting. While millions of 1945 D wheat pennies were produced, not all examples are equal. Conditions, strike quality, color, and rare errors can transform this humble 1-cent coin into something truly valuable. In 1945, the United States was emerging from global conflict. Pennies struck that year were made from a copper alloy that often included recycled wartime materials. Every 1945, D. Lincoln wheat cent carries that historical weight. For many Americans, these coins were part of daily life, used to buy newspapers, candy, and groceries. Today, collectors search for high-quality examples because history combined with condition creates demand. At first glance, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny D mint mark may appear common. Denver struck hundreds of millions of these coins. In circulated condition, many examples are affordable. But once you move into higher grades, especially coins that were never circulated, the value rises quickly. Uncirculated 1945 D wheat pennies with strong detail and original luster are far more desirable than worn brown examples. Color designation is one of the most important factors affecting value. Collectors classify these coins as brown, red-brown, or red. A full red 1945 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, meaning it retains most of its original mint red color, can command significantly higher prices than a dark brown coin. That bright red surface indicates minimal oxidation and careful preservation over decades. Strike quality is another crucial factor. The Denver Mint in the mid-1940s sometimes produced coins with softer strikes. On a premium 1945 D wheat penny, you want to see sharp detail in Lincoln's hair, a defined jawline, and strong lines in both wheat stalks on the reverse. Weakly struck examples are less desirable, while sharply struck coins attract serious collectors. Now, let's talk about errors and varieties, because this is where real money enters the conversation. Doubled die varieties, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes can dramatically increase the value of a 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark. A noticeable doubling in the date or lettering can transform a normal coin into a sought-after collectible. Error coins are always in demand because they represent mistakes that were never meant to leave the mint. There are also rare, transitional, and wrong planchet errors in the broader Wheat Penny series. While the 1945 D was intended to be struck on a copper alloy planchet, any deviation in weight or metal composition should be carefully examined. A standard 1945 D penny weighs about 3.11 grams. If you ever encounter an example with unusual weight or magnetic properties, that is a signal to investigate further. Even without dramatic errors, high-grade examples can be extremely valuable. Coins graded at the very top of the condition scale, with blazing red luster, minimal contact marks, and exceptional eye appeal, can bring astonishing prices. The difference between an average uncirculated coin and a superb gem can mean thousands of dollars. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series, minted from 1909 through 1958, remains one of the most popular U.S. coin series ever produced. Because millions of collectors build complete sets, demand for high-quality 1945 D Lincoln Wheat Pennies remains strong. Set builders constantly search for the best available example to upgrade their collections, pushing prices higher for premium coins. Many Americans still discover wheat pennies in inherited collections, estate sales, or old bankrolls. The 1945 D Wheat Penny is one of the dates frequently found in these groups. Most will be circulated, but occasionally, someone uncovers a nearly flawless red example that has been untouched for decades. That is where hidden value lives. Surface preservation matters enormously. Spots, stains, scratches, or cleaning damage can significantly reduce value. A natural original surface with even color and strong luster is far more desirable than a clean coin. Cleaning a 1945 D Lincoln Wheat Penny can permanently reduce its collector appeal, so preserving originality is critical. Collectors also evaluate eye appeal. Two coins with the same technical grade can sell for very different prices depending on overall look. A vibrant, sharply struck 1945 D Wheat Penny with glowing red color will always outperform a dull example. Eye appeal creates competition, and competition drives auction results higher. As interest in rare coins worth money continues to grow across the United States, more people are searching online for the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny D mint mark value. While most examples are modestly priced, the highest quality pieces consistently surprise the market. The key is understanding that rarity is often condition-based rather than mintage-based. Auction records prove this point. When a coin combines rarity, top condition, and strong collector demand, bidding can escalate rapidly. The highest auction results are typically achieved by coins that represent the absolute finest known examples, especially those with exceptional color and strike. One extraordinary 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark achieved an incredible $165,000 at auction, demonstrating that even a coin originally worth 1 cent can reach six-figure territory when rarity and condition align perfectly. So, before you overlook a 1945 D Lincoln Wheat Penny, take a closer look. Examine the mint mark. Study the strike. Check the color. Weigh the coin. Look for doubling or unusual characteristics. Because while millions were made, only a tiny percentage exist in elite condition, and those are the coins that serious collectors compete to own. This coin is valuable, and under the right circumstances, it can be far more than just pocket change. Coin number 3, imagine opening an old drawer, sliding aside forgotten papers, and noticing a single brown penny with a tiny D under the date. Most people would ignore it instantly, maybe toss it into a jar, maybe spend it without a second thought. But that exact habit is why valuable coins disappear every day without anyone realizing what was lost. The 1951 wheat penny with the Denver mint mark is one of those coins that looks ordinary at first glance, yet under the right condition, the right color, and the right strike, it becomes a coin collectors never stop watching. The first reason this coin keeps attention alive in the coin market is because of what that small D actually represents. That mint mark means the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, where more than 625 million examples were produced during 1951. At first, that number sounds too high for rarity, and that is exactly why many people underestimate this coin. Large production does not automatically remove value, because survival in elite condition is what separates common pieces from serious money coins. When collectors examine a 1951 D wheat penny, they do not simply ask whether the coin exists. They ask how sharp Lincoln's portrait remains, whether the wheat lines on the reverse still appear full, whether the fields remain clean, and whether the original red mint color survived decades without fading. A coin that spent years in circulation usually turns brown, develops scratches, and loses detail. But when a coin somehow escapes circulation and keeps its original mint brilliance, demand changes immediately. That is why many ordinary-looking 1951 D cents sell for only small amounts, while a tiny number become premium targets. In circulated condition, this coin often trades close to copper value, sometimes only a few cents above face value. But once preservation improves, especially in uncirculated grades, collectors begin competing because registry-quality Lincoln cents are much harder to find than people expect. Another reason this penny remains important is because wheat cents hold emotional power inside the coin hobby. The reverse design with 2 wheat stalks represents an era many collectors consider the golden age of everyday American coinage. Every year in the wheat series has a different personality, and the Denver issues often attract people searching for hidden condition rarities rather than obvious low-mintage keys. On the obverse, serious collectors inspect the lettering carefully. In God, we trust must remain bold. Liberty must stay sharp, and the date must show no softness. Even a small weakness in strike can reduce desirability. On the reverse, 1 cent and E pluribus una must appear strong, while the wheat grains need full separation. These tiny details decide whether a coin remains ordinary or enters the premium category. Color also changes everything. Brown examples are common. Red-brown examples begin to attract stronger attention. But full red examples, especially those with original luster untouched by cleaning, become much harder to locate because copper naturally tones over time. Once a collector finds a true red survivor from 1951, D, with almost no distractions, the coin instantly enters a much smaller market. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming dirt means damage and shine means value. In reality, cleaning a wheat penny can destroy value fast. Original surfaces matter more than artificial brightness. A naturally aged coin with untouched texture often carries more collector respect than one polished to look newer. Collectors also search this coin for mint errors. Some 1951 D examples show repunched mint mark characteristics where the D appears doubled under magnification. Others show minor die cracks, strike irregularities, or unusual planchet surfaces. These varieties are not always dramatic, but when confirmed, they can create additional interest because variety collectors actively pursue these subtle differences. The edge of the coin matters too. A damaged rim lowers appeal, while a full, undisturbed rim supports stronger grading outcomes. The spacing between date and mint mark also gets attention because advanced collectors compare known die pairings to identify unusual pieces hidden among normal examples. Another factor pushing interest in this coin is that wheat cents remain one of the most searched coin categories online. Many new collectors begin with Lincoln cents because they are familiar, affordable, and still occasionally found in old family collections. That constant demand keeps even common date coins relevant, especially when a high-grade example appears. If someone has rolls of old pennies at home, the 1951 D should never be skipped quickly. It deserves a second look under light. Tilt the coin slowly. Watch for luster movement. Check if Lincoln's cheek remains smooth or covered in marks. Examine the wheat lines carefully. Tiny differences decide whether the coin stays ordinary or becomes worth serious collector money. The strongest examples are those that appear almost frozen in time, as if they never entered circulation. These coins often come from old bank rolls, estate collections, or forgotten envelopes where they sat untouched for decades. When one appears in exceptional grade, bidding energy rises because advanced collectors know how few elite survivors remain. Even though millions were struck, condition rarity changes the story completely. That is why one person may hold a coin worth only cents while another person unknowingly owns a premium grade example worth hundreds or even thousands depending on certification and preservation. Collectors especially value coins that show clean fields under magnification. Carbon spots, fingerprints, and dull patches can reduce desirability. But a coin with blazing original red color and minimal contact marks immediately separates itself from the average group. Because this coin belongs to the later wheat cent years, many people assume it cannot surprise the market. That assumption creates opportunity. Some of the most overlooked coins become important only when they appear at the highest certified grades, where population numbers become extremely small. And this is where the story becomes powerful for viewers who still have old penny jars at home. A 1951 D-wheat penny may look ordinary enough to ignore, yet if it survives in extraordinary condition, collectors treat it very differently. The market does not reward age alone. It rewards preservation, originality, and rarity within grade. One extraordinary certified example of a 1951 D-wheat penny reached a recorded auction price of $290,000 when tied to an ultra-rare high-end presentation narrative often repeated in collector discussions, while verified mainstream auction records for top-graded regular strike examples remain far lower, with a certified MS-68 RD specimen selling for $8,100 through professional coin grading service records in 2025. So before any old penny leaves your hand, look carefully at the date, find that tiny Denver mint mark, and understand what you are holding. This coin is valuable not because every example is rare, but because the right example becomes a hidden prize that most people miss completely. A single, unnoticed wheat penny can still surprise a collector, and that is exactly why these coins continue to matter. And now you understand why wheat pennies continue to attract so much attention from collectors, because what looks like a simple old 1-cent coin can quietly hold surprising value, hidden rarity, and a history that many people never notice. Some of these wheat pennies remained unnoticed for decades inside jars, drawers, and old collections before collectors recognized how important they were. Others became valuable because of tiny details in the date, mint mark, color, or strike quality that most people overlook every day. That is why wheat pennies should never be ignored. A coin that appears worn, dark, or ordinary can still attract serious collector interest if the details are right. One sharp mint mark, one rare error, one unusually strong strike, or one well-preserved surface can completely change how collectors value that coin. Somewhere right now, another wheat penny could still be hiding in pocket change, an old box, or a forgotten collection, waiting to be discovered before it returns to circulation. But the search does not stop here. If you enjoyed these wheat penny discoveries, then watch my video on Jefferson nickel right now, because some Jefferson nickels also carry hidden value that surprises even experienced collectors, and certain dates and mint marks deserve immediate attention. And if you want more rare coin discoveries, subscribe to Coins Most Valuable, like this video, share it with anyone who keeps old coins, and comment below which wheat penny surprised you the most. Your next coin search could uncover a hidden treasure that has been sitting unnoticed for years.